Hello honeys, it's Yolz and welcome back to my channel. I have been in such a dark place for the past few weeks, as most of you already know, and I'll be talking about how I got out of that and gaining back my confidence while I do my everyday face. Hey there, it's Yolz channel. All the products I'll be using will be on the bottom left corner of your screen. Also, if you do enjoy these kind of videos, definitely give this video a massive thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. So the most obvious thing that's helped me honestly get through each day is doing what I love, trying to remember the things that used to make me feel good on days that I didn't even need to even think about it. Like on days where things were really good, what is it that would still fuel me to continue and to keep going? Sometimes we try and find solutions to get out of a bad place by doing things that help you get out of a bad place instead of doing the things that you used to do when things were good. I hope that makes sense. So one of those things was makeup. You guys know, while things were still good, I used to do my get ready with me. Sometimes I'd put it on camera. Sometimes I wouldn't. I would literally do my face here at home just for the sake of it. Sometimes it would just be for an IG photo. Sometimes it would just be to feel good. Sometimes my hubby would just be like, why are you doing your makeup? You're not going anywhere. And I just felt like doing it. That's why I would do it. Some days it's self-care, so-called self-care, where these days we've termed it, as bubble baths and doing our nails and, that whole thing. But sometimes self-care is really just taking care of your mental health. So switching off my social media, not looking at what other people are doing while I am moping in my bed and mourning like I currently am, the death of my father. I just sit in a room and pray. I just talk to God. Sometimes praying has been described as such a complex thing where you have to, do it in an orderly manner. But even just sitting in the dark, or if I don't want to open the curtains, I just talk, what's on my mind and just have a conversation with the Lord in the way that I would with a parent or a friend. Obviously in the most respectful way. I don't know, I'm a bit weirded out by like saying, yo, what's up, Lord, type of thing. So it's casual, but it's not that casual. Just a conversation about how I'm feeling. I mean, guys, when I say I was in a really deep, dark place, I've never ever considered the possibility of not being alive. And during this deep, dark time, I did. I won't lie to you, my thoughts would go so crazy to a point where I would have to sit up on my bed and say, Lord, take these thoughts away from my mind. I subject every single thought, under the authority of Christ Jesus. So I would have to talk in that way and speak to the Lord in that way to take away these things that are literally choking me and get back to a place of hope again, because when it's really dark, you're trying to find the light somewhere. Thankfully, my heart has a fighter inside of it. I don't know where it gets it from, to a point where I did get out. The other thing that helps a lot is my baby boy. I won't lie. Fezzy keeps me busy. He's the one person who will pull you out of bed and say, Mommy, let's dance. Let's exercise. Let's stretch. To a large extent, in fact, while I'm mourning and grieving the death of my father, there's so many things that I see my dad through Fezzy. Like there are things he does that remind me of my father. His laughter at times, his extreme extrovert personality sometimes just reminds me of my dad. And some of the things he says, like, I say he's got a happy meter. He asks, Daddy, are you happy? Mommy, are you happy? My dad used to do that and just want to find out how you're really feeling. Like already he's asked you how you were when you got into the house. And now we're having a full conversation and he still wants to know, are you happy? Are you okay? And when you ask him, he'd always say, I'm alright, sis. I'm alright, sis. It still plays in my mind in that exact voice. It's one of the things that would make me think of happier thoughts and happier times during this dark time, because while we grieve, the beginning stage is so dark, you don't even want to ponder on the good and happy memories. But it's sometimes the things that help us get out of that dark place. For me personally, thinking of how joyful my dad was and how much he wanted that in every single room he stepped into. He wanted to make sure that everybody is happy. He wanted to ensure that the atmosphere has changed because biza so ula. So seeing Fez and having Fez in my life has honestly truly defined the definition of a bundle of joy, because he's brought that through and through, and he doesn't even know it. A 2-year-old does not know that he's gotten his mom through one of the darkest times of her life. The other thing that's truly helped me also just find my way back to God has been worship music. Sometimes it's actually difficult to pray, in as much as I said, I sit and I talk to God. Sometimes it is difficult to just truly spend time with him. We can have this relationship with God and not realize sometimes that the ship gets rocked by things like death, because it really makes you realize that this life thing is real and death is as real as life is. So sometimes it would be hard for me to really spend time with my God in the way that I would otherwise if I wasn't, grieving. So I started listening to Tribal, which is a YouTube. I'll actually link the YouTube channel here. It's a group of young people who sing worship songs and praise songs as well. Some of the songs would make me cry and sob. Some of them I wouldn't even want to listen to, because just by the name, I'd just be like, this is going to get me too deep and too emotional. I don't want to be in my emotions right now. Some of those songs would get me lifting my hands, even when I didn't want to at the beginning of the song. It would get me truly appreciating the fact that my pulse is still there. The fact that I still have breath, just to appreciate the renewal of God's mercies upon my life, having family that is still alive and well, and looking at things in a different light. For instance, it took me a while to appreciate the fact that I saw the last days of my dad being alive. It took me a while because there were a lot of whys, like, why didn't I spend more time with him? Why didn't I go sooner to see him, But those songs would get me to a point of grace again, and realizing how much grace God gave me to be able to see him and be able to say goodbye, because not many people get that chance. Then I got to a point where I could pick up the camera again. I thank God for that, because that's one of the things that truly made me feel better. I think one of the things that we always, or seemingly we people who watch YouTube, sometimes think, that YouTuber really makes me feel good. They refuel me, they motivate me, they encourage me. You have absolutely no idea what it's like to have a community of people who are constantly rooting for you, who will DM you and say, hey, you haven't posted in 5 days. Is everything okay? Hey, I'm just checking in. No pressure to post, but I just want to know if you're all right, Yolz. You guys are the people who truly make this life thing worth living, especially when somebody's having thoughts of not being on this world anymore, not being in this world anymore. So that's one of the things that have truly made me feel so much better. And now, video after video, once I've posted 2-3 videos and read your beautiful comments and seen how many of you have been touched by my honesty, my vulnerability, my openness, I get more confident to post another video. On to the next one, and on to the next one. So on this specific day, I felt like crap. I won't lie. But I got up and I thought to myself, if I can just do my makeup, and that thought went to, if I can put up the camera too while I do my makeup, I don't have to talk, I will feel so much better. And guess what? I truly did. I created this video to encourage you, and hopefully this will get you out of whatever dark place you find yourself in. I love you guys so much, and do not forget to subscribe, especially if you enjoyed this video. Mwah.